Alright, welcome back to Hot Topics TV, y'all. If you've never been here before, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell next to the subscribe button so you're notified every time we update one of these stories or every time we post a new video to the channel right here on Hot Topics TV. And you already know, if the topic is hot, we're on it. This one is piping hot, man. And I've been wanting to do this for a couple of days, but I wanted to see how much more information would come out. I heard about a 16-year-old that was shot during a robbery at a Burger King, and I thought, damn, not again, because a 19-year-old in Harlem, New York just lost her life at a Burger King while she was working. Man came in, hit her in the chest with one gunshot after robbing the place for $100, right? So we covered that story first. Now, this particular story, it's crazy as crazy gets. You know, we're over here telling the young kids, like, you know, you better get in line, you better straighten up, you better fly right. That's what we say in the military anyways. Straighten up and fly right. And then we have grown-ass people that are invigilating these young people to live in foolishness. I personally think that this man should go to prison for the rest of his life. And the dude that did the shooting that actually caused the girl's death, I feel sorry for him because he was just trying to do the right thing. However, there's some issues. So let's talk about it. All right. A father is charged with murder after his daughter's best friend was killed during a botched Burger King robbery, and this is what the court says. A Milwaukee man is facing murder charges in the death of his daughter's 16-year-old best friend. His daughter and her best friend worked at the same McDonald's at the same shift. Not McDonald's, at the same Burger King at the same shift. The father and the daughter were allegedly involved in a plot to rob the restaurant where she worked when one of her co-workers intervened. So one of the guys that work at the restaurant, he intervened and gunshots were fired. Let's talk about how it went. So Antoine Edwards, 41 years old grown-ass man, is out here robbing restaurants with a 16-year-old child. And you put your friggin' own child into this. You know, sometimes when you see some kids doing really bad in life, man, you gotta really look at where they're coming from. Like, who are their parents? You know what I'm saying? And then you can see why. Because when we know better, we do better. Sometimes they just don't know no better. And it's because of who the parents is. Now, let's talk about this. So, Antoine Edwards, 41 years old. He's facing several charges connected to the shooting, including felony murder for the death of Niesha Harris-Brazell. Even though prosecutors said that he wasn't the one that fired the gun. So he came to do the robbery, right? Came to do the robbery. He set up the robbery with his daughter that works there with her best friend on the same shift. But he didn't fire the weapon that killed the bestie. Isn't it ironic how you set up a robbery to rob your workplace and your best friend that works where you work at ends up being the only person that gets killed? If that ain't God talking to you, I don't know what is. But anyhow, so according to the criminal complaint paperwork in court, Edward's daughter told the police. Now, she only 16, so she ain't snitching. She just telling. She doing what young teenagers do. Okay, because the police now has her in custody, has her daddy in custody. Surveillance cameras are talking. Everybody sees who did what. And she told the police that she, her daughter, and her best friend had planned to stage a robbery while the two teenage girls were on the clock at the register doing the work. So it would have been easier for him to rob the place with them being on the clock, because they would just hand over the money knowing that it's daddy that's under the mask. It's not really a robber, but I'm just going to act like I'm really scared and I'm going to empty the register and give him all the money. This is what this grown-ass man planned with these teenage girls, and give him all the money, and then when we get home, when he gets home, escape with the money. We'll act like we got robbed and we'll split the money. That was the plan. That's how it was supposed to go. He didn't go like that. She said a few days, this is what she told the police. She said a few days before the incident, Niesha, who is Niesha, and the defendant planned for the defendant to come, which is her father, to come to the drive-thru window and stage a robbery at closing time. Because at closing time, there would be the most money inside of the till, inside of the cash register. This is what her and her daddy planned, and this is what she told the police. Me and daddy planned this. We planned that he was going to come at a late time when we getting ready to close up. You know, we hadn't dropped the money yet. It's in the till, it's in the register, and he's going to come and push himself through the window, and I'm going to scream and say, robbery, he's got a gun. And I'm going to empty the register, and he's going to disappear into the night, and it's going to be all good. Well, damn. It didn't go like that. Shortly after closing time on January 2nd, prosecutors said that Edwards pulled up to the drive-thru window. This is the father. He pulls up to the drive-thru window twice. Big, dumb 40-year-old. And I gotta say dumb, right? Because in 2022, you have to know that there are cameras everywhere. Cameras in the parking lot, cameras at the drive-thru window, cameras looking from different sections of the drive-thru. You think the damn restaurant's not thinking about getting robbed and not thinking about securing their assets? So shortly after closing time on January 2nd, prosecutors said that Edwards pulled up to the drive-thru window twice, like a big dummy. The first time, another employee came to the window, so Edwards left. He was spooked. He was like, damn, this ain't who I really want to talk to. I was hoping for my daughter to come to the window so I can act like I'm robbing the place and we would do as planned. But he pulls up and somebody else came to the window, another employee. And he drove off. Now check it. Edwards left, got on the phone, called his daughter. His daughter is inside, right? So he's letting her know, hey man, I'm outside. Come to the window. You can't get to the window? There's somebody else at the window. I don't want to do it with them at the window. It ain't going to go as planned. So he actually calls her. Now, people, listen, this is 2022. I don't know if y'all don't watch enough forensic shows and criminal investigation shows and whatnot. This big dumb 41-year-old man, not only did you visit the damn window, went through the drive-thru twice, cameras picked you up twice, but he also called his daughter who was inside. He was outside. Have you ever heard of phone transcripts? I mean, damn. He was skating on a banana peel all the way to prison and taking his damn teenage daughter with him. So he returned to the drive-thru window, right? And this time, Niesha was there, which is his daughter's bestie. She was at the window. This is according to the court records. And the employees heard Niesha yell, "He's got a gun! He's got a gun!" This right here, people, tells me that I don't think Niesha really knew. I think the daughter and the father planned that stuff by themselves. I think the bestie got caught up in it because she was the one that was at the window and he jumped in, right? He figured she was probably going to say, because here's what's happening. Her parents, her mom is saying, y'all telling lies on my daughter, and I don't know why you're telling these lies on my daughter, little girl. This is what the mom's statement said about the bestie. I don't know why you telling lies on my daughter, little girl, because it's not going to free your daddy from prison. He's still going to go to prison. Why are you implicating my daughter in this, saying that she planned it with you guys, knowing that it was you and your dad alone that planned that shit? So here's the thing. The restaurant, of course, is their best bet is to side with the version of the story that says the dead teenager actually planned this with the other bestie and her dad. Because if they do, then her family can't sue. They can't get any money and no liability for her death. She died on the job. They're supposed to be paying out the ass. but they can avoid paying a penny if she was the one who they can prove was involved in criminal activities on the job, planned to rob the place, and lost her life in the process. I don't think she was in on this. I don't think she was in on this. He came back through the drive-thru this time, hoping to see his daughter, and it was her best friend that was there. He jumps in the window. She yells, "He's got a gun! He's got a gun!" Now check it. If she had planned this with them, it would have been a quiet ass robbery. I would have acted like I was really scared, because suddenly here is someone with their whole body in the window right next to you and they have a gun. So I wouldn't yell, "He's got a gun." I would comply with their command, right? And the command would have been, "Open the cash register. Give me all the money that's in it." And I would have done that, knowing that I'm on camera and all that. The simple fact that she yelled, "He's got a gun!" to alert everybody else tells me she was not a part of this damn plan. But this girl, for some reason, got to make it seem like, you see, man, and everybody ain't your friend. She already dead. She can't go to prison. So why are you snitching on the dead? We all planned it together. The attempt to steal cash was botched after another employee was alerted when Niesha yelled out, "He's got a gun." This other employee's name is Derek Ellis. Derek Ellis was unaware of the plan to rob the place. Derek flew into action. Derek is the guy that's working the night shift with the girls. He flew into action. He fired several rounds of ammunition towards the drive-thru window where the 41-year-old dad was hanging in the window trying to rob the place. So Derek heard, "He's got a gun, he's got a gun." Well, apparently Derek had a gun too. And Derek fired several shots in that direction. Now, all Derek was trying to do was be the hero. He was trying to kill somebody that was robbing the restaurant, right? Or try to kill somebody before they ends up killing one of them that's on the job. And guess what? It put Derek in a whole lot of trouble, man. Because Derek was the one that actually missed and ended up shooting the bestie, 16-year-old Niesha, as she stood at the window. She was caught in the crossfire. The attempt to steal the cash was botched after another employee, Derek Ellis, who was unaware of the plan, fired several rounds of ammunition towards the drive-thru window, and Edwards reached through with the gun. The criminal complaint says that Niesha was shot and killed while she was standing in the line of fire, and Edwards, he took off. After he was arrested earlier this week, prosecutors said that he admitted to authorities, this is the dad, he admitted to authorities that he and Niesha, which is the dead girl, his daughter's bestie, he and her were staging a robbery, and he left his damn daughter out of the story. Now you see why I don't think that this girl was involved with the daughter and father pair, because when he got caught by the police, he said to them that it was him and the dead girl that planned the robbery. The dead girl is your daughter's best friend. Your daughter already told the police that it was you, her bestie, and her that planned it, but his version was, "Oh shit, okay, look, I'm going to prison anyways, so I'm gonna go do my time, but I can't let my daughter go to prison as well, so I'm gonna say she had nothing to do with it, and it was just me and her best friend that planned this." I don't think that daughter had nothing to do with it. Her mom made a statement, and her mom said Niesha didn't have to work. She wasn't from one of those families where they were like, "Hey, as soon as you get certain age, you got to go get a job and come help us pay some of these bills because I'm struggling in here." They said she's got a whole lot of uncles that all work, good jobs, and she's got about 5 aunties or so that live very close by. She is one of those children that are very spoiled. Like, all she has to do is say what she wants, and one of them are going to buy it for her. She has everything. She just wanted to go out there to see what it's like to work at that age and earn some money. And since her bestie had to work, she figured, hey, I'll keep your company at work and whatever. And it ended up costing her her life. And not only her life, after death, now it's costing her her reputation. I don't think this young lady was involved in the plot to rob the place. The criminal complaint says that Niesha was shot and killed while she was standing in a line of fire. Police are still looking for Ellis though, which is another teenager who worked there. Now you gotta ask yourself, why did Ellis bring a gun to work? Because in other reports it says that he always carried a gun to work. But the problem is, he is a convicted felon. He is somebody that has a record already. So he should not have been in possession of a firearm. And even though he was trying to do good, the bad was the outcome. And you know how the law works. They might have a little leniency, but it's another person that they can throw in prison and get money for storing him there. This kid didn't intend to rob anybody. He tried to shoot somebody who had a gun on one of the persons that worked with him and tried to rob the facility at which he worked. So the manager or assistant manager that was on duty at the time took the gun after Ellis fired the gun, put the gun in the safe, and left it there until the police came. Ellis took off, and he's been on the run since. I feel bad for Ellis, man. Edwards, who is the dad, he could face up to 30 years in prison if he's convicted on all charges that are laid against him. If you ask me, 30 years for a 41-year-old man that planned a robbery with his 16-year-old daughter, and the robbery botched and ended up costing her 16-year-old best friend's life. I think he should get life in prison as well. Talk to me. Leave your comments in the comments section below, and I'll catch you on the next video with SoFlo TV over here on Hot Topics TV. For some of my people who don't know that this is my second channel. I'm out. Peace.